A cordial greeting. Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, we will be discussing several areas we are monitoring in the Atlantic region. First, and briefly, we will talk about the recently formed subtropical storm Patty, which has developed just west of the Azores and will affect the region as a weak subtropical storm. This means that the disturbance in the Caribbean Sea will eventually become Tropical Storm Rafael, as the low-pressure system has been designated with the name Patty. Here is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, projecting that tonight and Sunday morning, it will affect the Azores as a weak tropical storm. It will then transition to a non-tropical system as it moves toward the northwest coast of Spain and northern Portugal by Tuesday afternoon. Now, let's discuss the disturbances we're monitoring in the Caribbean. The first is a low-pressure area north of Panama, with a high likelihood of cyclonic development in the coming days as it moves over Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba. It is very likely that this low pressure will strengthen into the next tropical storm of the season, named Tropical Storm Rafael. In the long term, this future cyclone is expected to enter the Gulf of Mexico, though there is still uncertainty about its trajectory. Residents along the Gulf Coast, including in the United States and Mexico, should monitor the evolution of Tropical Storm Rafael. Another low-pressure area northeast of Puerto Rico has a low probability of cyclonic development as it moves westward. It will continue to bring showers to parts of northern Dominican Republic, and eventually the Turks and Caicos Islands, southern Bahamas, northern Haiti, and eastern Cuba. This low-pressure system is expected to be absorbed by the future Tropical Storm Rafael, so it is not expected to become a tropical cyclone before reaching the Greater Antilles or the Bahamas. In the 8 a.m. tropical outlook, the National Hurricane Center maintains an 80% chance of cyclonic development for the low pressure east of Nicaragua, which should soon be designated as a potential tropical cyclone. An official forecast from the National Hurricane Center may be available soon, as it is projected to affect Jamaica as a tropical storm on Monday night or Tuesday morning. While the development chances are high, the good news is that conditions in the Gulf of Mexico are not highly favorable for significant strengthening, so it is expected to enter the Gulf as a strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane. In the long term, as it enters the Gulf, dry air may interfere with the storm circulation, limiting its potential for rapid strengthening. Additionally, there is the possibility of a low-pressure system developing over the northeastern Caribbean late next week. It is important for residents of the northern Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic to stay alert, as this area could be marked for cyclonic development in the coming days. Let's look at projections from global models, starting with the American model. It shows a tropical depression forming from the low pressure in the Caribbean on Sunday afternoon and possibly becoming a Category 1 hurricane by Monday night or Tuesday morning. It then moves northwest, affecting the Cayman Islands as a strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane on Tuesday afternoon, and then western Cuba on Wednesday morning. The American model also shows low pressure developing near the northeast Caribbean by the end of next week, with Tropical Storm Rafael potentially moving over the Gulf of Mexico waters and possibly a new tropical depression near Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands by Thursday afternoon. In the long term, the American model projects Tropical Storm Rafael turning toward Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or the Florida Panhandle by the weekend, though there is still high uncertainty about which part of the Gulf Coast will be impacted. The European model has a similar forecast, showing a weak tropical storm affecting Jamaica on Monday night or Tuesday morning, then moving northwest, impacting the Cayman Islands as a tropical storm on Tuesday night, and western Cuba on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. The model also shows low pressure developing over the northern Lesser Antilles, an area to monitor for the end of next week. In the long term, once Tropical Storm Rafael reaches the Gulf of Mexico, the European model projects a more westward path, potentially threatening areas in Tamaulipas and Veracruz, Mexico. The German model shows a tropical depression or storm over Jamaica on Monday night or Tuesday morning, moving northwest over the Cayman Islands on Tuesday night, and western Cuba on Wednesday morning. Unlike the American and European models, it projects a more easterly path, potentially bringing Rafael toward northern Florida. The UK model resembles the American model, passing near or over Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, western Cuba, and eventually moving toward Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle. Today, we have a clearer picture of Rafael's potential trajectory. It's essential for residents of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba to prepare for a strong tropical storm or possibly a Category 1 hurricane. We can see this consensus in track projections in the GFS ensemble members, all of which develop a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 72 hours, maintaining a path near or over Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and central or western Cuba. However, uncertainty increases once this future cyclone reaches the Gulf of Mexico. Some members show a path toward Florida, while others move further west, eventually reaching Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama. Similarly, the European model ensemble aligns on a path near or over Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba, but it also shows considerable uncertainty once in the Gulf of Mexico. Some members track toward Florida, while others take a more westerly path, potentially nearing Texas, Tamaulipas, or Veracruz. Now, let's look at the expected impacts across Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba. Starting with wind gust projections, we see future Tropical Storm Rafael affecting Jamaica between Monday and Tuesday with gusts over 100 km per hour, and then impacting the Cayman Islands on Tuesday and Wednesday with similar wind gusts. By Wednesday evening, Rafael will be moving over western Cuba, where gusts could exceed 130 km per hour. Along its path, it will bring heavy rain and potential flooding, including across Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba. The American model forecasts between 150 to 200 millimeters of accumulated rain over the next 4 days, so special attention should be given to the potential flooding that could impact Jamaica and western Cuba. The European model shows similar projections, with 150 to 200 millimeters of accumulated rain over the next 5 days, covering Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba. That's all for this forecast update here at Hurricane Info. We'll continue to closely monitor the evolution of this low-pressure system, which is expected to become Tropical Storm Rafael, and also keep an eye on the low-pressure area northeast of the Caribbean that could bring rain to the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, northern Dominican Republic and Haiti, and eastern Cuba. In the long term, we'll be monitoring the potential development of another low-pressure area near or over the northeastern Caribbean, and we'll continue tracking the path of Tropical Storm Rafael once it reaches Gulf waters. So, if you live in these areas, it's important to stay updated with bulletins from the National Hurricane Center. And under this special coverage, make sure to check if you're subscribed to my channel, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell so you'll receive notifications when I post new videos. Well, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Have an excellent weekend, everyone. Goodbye.